basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And joining us a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke. The Chicago Bulls here to defend the home court, playing host to the Western Conference. And the starting lineup for the Thunder brought to us tonight by State Farm. Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, and Kendrick Perkins, their front court trio. The backcourt comprised of Russell Westbrook and Thabo Sefolosha. And for Chicago, their front court, Luol Deng, Carlos Boozer, and Joakim Noah in the middle. Rose and Rip Hamilton man the backcourt.
And you could actually see it on the Bulls' faces and in the body language of the players last season when Rose tore his ACL, Kevin. It just took all of the wind out of their sails.
Boozer, no luck.
He was right there, but the defensive pressure forced that miss.
Well contested. That really made it a tough shot.
Gets it to go. Westbrook's got his second basket of the game.
You know, Kevin, they were a step late on their defensive rotation, and that helped them get right to the rim.
What's interesting is that Rose had missed a lot of time last year with the team in the regular year, but the Bulls weathered the storm. But once they knew it was gone from them, having him in the lineup, I'm sure they felt like it's a different story now. And Steve, they acted differently themselves.
Well, it's one thing to weather the storm during the regular season, but to deal with the absence of a superstar in the playoffs is a totally different deal. And you're right, you could see the difference in the Bulls once the playoffs started in terms of their belief in how far they could go.
Just 5 on the clock. Rose can't hit.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Here's Ibaka, and that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook.
And the offense, I mean, 3 of 4, a solid start for this game.
Well, Serge Ibaka is now in his 4th NBA season, just turned 23, and physically, he is scary. 6'10", 240, a world-class athlete, can jump out of the gym, one of the best shot blockers in the NBA.
Westbrook with the steal. Durant attacking. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Durant's got his first basket.
Nice start here. Taking 5 shots, only missed 1 of them.
And Serge Ibaka, a late first-round pick. What a find for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, diamond in the rough, and they're hoping he will be the 4th star for the Thunder. When you look at Durant and Harden and Westbrook, when you look at what he's done in just his first 3 seasons, my, you can't put it past him. He may join that group and make it the big 4 instead of the big 3.
And he uses both hands to jam it in.
Boy, they're showing some confidence here.
Yeah, they are. A lot of confidence, guys. I mean, starting to pull away, too.
Bulls trail by 10. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, Scott Brooks gave me a couple of minutes to catch up with him. He said that their defensive focus, no surprise, will be trying to keep Derrick Rose out of the lane. He added, you know he's come a long way as an outside shooter, but he's a pick-your-poison type of player. We can't let him get into the paint. Makes sense, Kevin.
All right, Doris. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in, Deng kicks to Hamilton, pass to Rose, Westbrook with the steal, by himself, and finished off by Westbrook.
Tell you what, you gotta love his aggressiveness finishing inside like that.
Well, his leaping ability, Clark, gives him a great advantage.
And that's why they look to get him the ball around the rim. I mean, it feels like it's either a dunk or a foul and a couple of free throws every possession.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Sprite. And Chicago has possession. The Thunder making the shot. Hamilton outside. Throws it up high. Deflects the pass. Stolen by Durant. Westbrook passes to Sefolosha. Here's Ibaka. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Ibaka's got 6.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down.
Well, we'll see if that shot breaks things open a little bit. It's been a slow start.
Hopefully that gets them on the right track here, Steve.
Now here's Westbrook. 6 points for him. That's good. 8 points for him.
Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
Hamilton outside. In low to Boozer. That's good. The Thunder leading by 12. Outside Westbrook. Westbrook gets a screen from Ibaka. Now the dish to Durant. It's a look. And Serge Ibaka, the bucket on the assist by Durant. 8 points for Serge Ibaka.
And you look at Bulls head coach Tom Thibodeau, considered by a lot of people to be the architect of the defensive philosophies that have been embraced by most of the league. And that is loading the strong side of the floor in the half court, and kind of zoning up, basically, and then sending the ball handler baseline into help down on the block.
Outside Westbrook. Cephalosha. Left side Durant. Ibaka against Boozer. And Ibaka slams it in.
They've built a big lead here early.
Both defensively and offensively. They've been terrific right from the tip.
Bulls trail by 14. Here is Rose. Richard Hamilton on the wing. Inside. Stolen by Durant. Passes it to Cephalosha. It's stolen by Dang. Over Durant. And again, Luol Deng. Dang's got his second bucket. The Thunder leading by 12. Well, Steve, going back to Coach Tom Thibodeau, our listeners might say, well, he's only been a head coach for a couple years. How could you be so influential? But prior to that, he was an assistant coach in the NBA for 2 decades and really built a nice reputation.
And whether it's in Houston or Boston, he's always played that key role in creating those stingy defensive schemes that he's known for. Obviously, he's taken those to Chicago now. The Bulls have been one of the best defensive clubs in the league the last couple of years. So Tom Thibodeau, no question, an excellent defensive coach.
Now Rose, following Durant's three-point attempt. Sinks that one from the post.
Offensively, he's been really effective so far, making his shots count. No wasted motion.
Westbrook with it. He's got 8. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
When you think about converted point guards, Russell Westbrook comes to mind for me anyway. He played the 2 at UCLA alongside Darren Collison. But he's been able to figure out the point guard spot in the NBA, and Oklahoma City really wants him to score anyway. So he's kind of a hybrid point guard.
First one falls for him. And Russell Westbrook has had his critics playing alongside Kevin Durant, and some have said that Westbrook took too many shots. Clark, what do you think?
Well, that's nitpicking. I don't want to dwell on where Russell Westbrook is with his development because he's a fantastic player. He's young, and he does need to grow. Most guys do. But what he brings is a guy who can score the ball at a high rate, and he needs to take a number of shots. That's what he is. He's a scoring point guard right now. So the criticism about him taking too many shots, I think that's misguided.
Well, Thunder head coach Scott Brooks had some pretty good days in his NBA career. Actually went undrafted out of UC Irvine, but ended up playing in the CBA and then played 8 or 9 years in the NBA. Ended up winning a title with Houston in 1994.
Jones checked in for the Thunder. Bulls trail by 12. Now Rose. Hamilton outside. Muhammad with a screen on Harden. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Dang. The rebound by Harden. Well, you mentioned Coach Brooks and his background as a point guard. You see a lot of former point guards, I think, Steve, becoming head coaches.
Yeah, it's true, Kevin. You think about the guys who have had to lead teams as point guards. It's a natural transition for them to go into coaching. They're used to directing traffic. They're used to kind of figuring things out during a game, so they have to think their way through a contest. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that point guards sometimes make good coaches.
How about that, basketball fan?
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, things could not be going much better for them so far, particularly offensively.
I'll say, I mean, you don't see too many first quarter leads this big.
And here's Rose. It's Rip Hamilton on the wing. He kicks it to Muhammad. Feeds to Gibson. Plenty of space. And the basket by Muhammad. The Thunder leading by 12.
Well, part of being one of the elite teams in the league is making sure you handle business, you know, when you head out on the road. And one area where Oklahoma City was fantastic last year was their record against Eastern Conference opponents on the road. They dominated.
Westbrook against Rose. Gibson. Kick out to Hamilton. Stolen by Harden. And here we go. Harden heading to the hoop. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
Yeah, Harden is really an instant offense type guy, Kevin. He's been a role player off the bench the last couple of years, but it seems like he's ready to emerge into a star. He's instant offense when he comes into the game.
And, Steve, it's not just because Harden can get hot in a hurry. It's also because he can find ways to get the shots he wants. And he isn't just a catch-and-shoot guy. He knows when to put it on the floor, create some space, and then pull up for the two. He's also a better passer than advertised.
Kevin Durant.
You know, Steve, they really were great against the East, going 13-5 on the season. Clark, not a lot of teams gave them trouble.
Well, when you have the number of shooters that the Thunder have, it can be really hard for a team to figure out how you guard them if you only see them once or twice a year. And the Thunder took full advantage of that.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Muhammad. Bellinelli comes in for Richard Hamilton. And it's Heinrich in for Derrick Rose. The pass to Bellinelli. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Heinrich. They grab their own miss. Here's Dang. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And you go back and you look at the numbers from last season, he knocked down about 77% of his free throws.
That's good from Dang.
Well, with such a young core and showing that they can be a team that can hold their own in the tough Western Conference, it's possible we could be looking at a decade-long run here with the Thunder, where they win multiple conference championships and maybe NBA titles as well.
Carlos Boozer's checked in for Noah. He's perfect from the line this time. See, that's a good thought. You certainly have to think so, the way they are dominating their division and the rest of the West the past few years. Clark, what a solid young core they have to go with.
Yeah, they're fantastic, Kevin. Such a young team. They've been knocking on the door for a championship the last couple of years, and they should be a contender as long as they can keep this core together and stay healthy.
They built an early lead here, really pushing ahead.
Well, they've got a huge advantage, points in the paint, Steve, and they're attacking early, so taking advantage of scoring in close.
Here's Bellinelli. Here's Gibson, and he drops it in following the offensive rebound.
He will fight you down low, guys. Really battles in there. He comes up with a lot of second chance buckets.
The Thunder leading by 15. Harden outside. Durant sets a screen for Harden. He feeds it to Collison. Stolen by Boozer. Now here's Heinrich. Defense right on him. Dishes to Bellinelli. He dishes it to Gibson. That's blocked. Harden outside. Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Buries it down low. Durant's got 6.
He's as close to impossible to defend as anybody, I think. I mean, he can just torch the defense in so many ways.
Here's Heinrich. Back to Boozer. Stolen by Harden. And here's the fast break. Cook leading the way. Here's Collison. And he makes good on the layup. And the Thunder lead by 19.
I can imagine they're going to hear an earful about this next stop. I mean, that's 3 straight field goals given up right in the middle of the lane. Inexcusable.
Well, defense starts at the rim. I mean, you want teams shooting the ball from the outside, and that's not happening. They're just giving up everything inside.
Here's Boozer. And the rebound goes to the Thunder. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Kicks it to Maynard. Back to Harden. Now the feed to Maynard. And there's another one for the Thunder. Heinrich with it. Three-pointer. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And that's it for the first quarter in what's been a very lopsided game. The Thunder out in front, running away. Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And guys, we've seen the Thunder really take control here.
And a good start for this club. I like the way they played together, really moved the ball and did a nice job offensively.
Yeah, excellent ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard, too.
So with Boozer on the bench, here's the 5 for Tom Thibodeau right now. We've got Richard Hamilton, Muhammad out there with Taj Gibson. Then there's Bellinelli, and it's Heinrich in at the point guard. Clock at 4, and the basket by Jones.
Making it look easy out there.
Yeah, it's been a lopsided affair on the floor, guys, and on the scoreboard.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Guys, though Kendrick Perkins is not a big scorer, the Thunder feel that he's exactly what they need inside. His former coach and current coach of the Celtics, Doc Rivers, said, his influence on that team is dramatic to me. You can see it, you can feel it. They're all defensive players now. Perk has completely changed the culture of that team. You can just see it on the floor. Kevin, Perk's not shy about holding his teammates accountable defensively.
Yeah, championship mentality, Doris. Good point. Thanks.
And defensively, remember, you got to fight through screens to avoid giving up open looks.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Steve. And the defense has to go over the top of that screen. I think that's how they get it done.
Now here's Heinrich. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Hamilton outside. Over Cephalosha. Nice shot by Hamilton.
And now 6 of their last 10 points from mid-range.
Yeah, the jump shot really serving these guys pretty well.
The Thunder leading by 21. Heinrich against Westbrook. The shot misses. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Heinrich against Harden. Heinrich, right side. Russell Westbrook with the rebound.
You look at Kirk Heinrich, a nice defensive-minded combo guard. Really the ability to guard either guard position. And he had to miss the start of last season after shoulder surgery and then really had to work his way back after that.
Cephalosha dishes to Westbrook. The second chance effort. Rebound by the Bulls. Muhammad's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's Heinrich. And the rebound goes to the Thunder. And Heinrich at 6'4" does an impressive job defensively.
And Kevin, it's offensively where he's starting to struggle a bit. More of a jump shooter, and I'm sure that surgery didn't help. We'll see if he can get those percentages back up.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And Chicago has their hands full guarding against Westbrook.
10 points, and the steals are starting to pile up for him also.
They sure have, and clearly he's gotten in their heads because of it, Clark. You guys are looking over their shoulder now, always worrying about where he is.
The first one falls.
And the Bulls, as usual, were so tough at home last year, and it's a trend that's been building for quite a while now. I mean, they're just incredibly tough to beat when they play in front of their fans.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Muhammad. Boozer comes in for Taj Gibson. Luol Deng is checked in for Richard Hamilton. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Bellinelli. Second best record at home in the East for the Bulls, Steve, when you have the defensive presence they have in front court. A friendly crowd, that goes right along with it. Boy, that can lock up an opposing team.
The other thing that helps you have a good home record is taking care of the ball, and they did that extremely well at home, Kevin. Second best turnover rate in the league in that category. So really just a very sound team. Nothing flashy, but very solid. Not exactly the way the Bulls wanted to perform in the playoffs last year, Kevin. And Derrick Rose, when he tore his ACL in the first game of the opening round, it was something they couldn't quite recover from.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Durant's checked in. Dang hits them both. But credit to the Bulls, they did get a couple of wins before falling to the 76ers in 6. But once Rose went down, their hopes, and Noah too, I guess, for a degree, their hopes at a title were probably out the window, Steve.
Yeah, no question. It was a tough way to wrap up what was a fantastic regular season for the Bulls. But, you need luck to win in the playoffs. You got to be good, but you've got to be lucky. And unfortunately for the Bulls, their luck was all bad last season.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
Well, it's interesting. This Oklahoma City team has gotten better and better. And now it's to the point where every year the expectations are for the Thunder to pretty much get out of the West and maybe win the championship. Not easy to play with that kind of burden.
Give them a hand. Come on, Chicago.
Here's Heinrich, looking for his first bucket of the game. Outside Rose. Left side Rose. This season, though, when you talk about expectations, the Thunders have to be pleased with what they were able to accomplish.
And Kevin, with the way the Thunder played in the postseason, it was obvious that the expectations didn't bother them at all.
And while I'm sure there's some disappointment that they weren't able to win at all, losing to the Heat in 5 in a series where Oklahoma City was actually favored.
Yeah.
I think in the big picture, you have to appreciate how far they've come in such a short time.
Yeah.
The future, obviously, very bright in OKC.
Heinrich kicks to Deng. Outside Rose. Pass to Noah. Over Collison. Noah's shot is off. The Thunder leading by 23. Here's Maynard. Over Rose. Again, the Thunder score.
If their plan was to keep going inside a ton, it sure has paid off. I mean, it seems like every bucket they get is in the lane.
Well, no reason to take an outside shot if you're scoring at will from inside the paint.
Heinrich kicks to Rose. Shoots over Maynard. And it's Rose. This time the assist by Heinrich. And that's now 8 points for Rose. The Thunder have gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. Now Maynard. Six to shoot. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Deng. Heinrich passes to Deng. And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here. Chicago making some changes. Taj Gibson's checked in for Boozer. And it's Bellinelli in for Kirk Heinrich. And Oklahoma City with a change here too. Harden's checked in. Oklahoma City on D. And Bellinelli kicks to Rose. He passes to Gibson. Deng. Clock at 6. Got it from 16 feet. Deng's got 4 points this quarter.
Shooting much better here in the second quarter.
Yeah, their offense has really come alive. Can they come back and even it up? That's the question.
Durant just inside the line. The basket good off the assist from Maynard. A challenging stretch here for Chicago. Rose kicks to Bellinelli.
I see him.
The dish now to Noah. Bulls moving the ball around. Right side Rose. Takes it up and finished off by Noah.
I think the best quality for Noah is the energy that he brings to the game, Kevin. He's got long arms, he can rebound, he can handle the ball, he can make plays, but really it's just the impact he has with his effort and his energy that's most impressive.
But he's so unselfish. I love that about him, and he's a real demon on the backboards. An outstanding offensive rebounder. He's a good passer, too. If he sees an open teammate, he won't hesitate to move the rock. And he's accurate with his passes, too.
Bulls trail by 21. The alley-oop pass. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds.
Oklahoma City.
Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for the Bulls. And a switch here also for Oklahoma City. Thabo Sefolosha has checked in for Daquan Cook. Here's Maynard. Harden with it.
Get there, get there.
Passes it to Collison. Back to Harden. Shot clock at 6. Here's Durant. True on the 14-footer. Durant's got 4 this quarter.
Kevin Durant, 3-time NBA. Actually, he's led the NBA in scoring the last 3 seasons. Remarkable when you consider how young this guy is.
Rose goes in. Rose can't get that one to fall. The Thunder leading by 23. Harden dishes to Durant. And there's another one for the Thunder. Durant, the youngest ever scoring champion back in 2010, so naturally also the fastest to 3 scoring titles as well, Steve.
Well, and to think that he's been able to accomplish everything that he has, and he's still in his early 20s. It's just amazing. Of course, leading his team to the finals a year ago as well. Become one of the most dominant players in the league, and the scary thing is he's only going to get better.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Guys, it's never been easy for a player to transition from one team to another, but in the case of Rip Hamilton here in Chicago, it's been relatively simple. He says, this team is awesome. Everyone loves each other and holds each other accountable. High praise from someone who has been part of an NBA title team, Kevin.
Well, Doris, that camaraderie is such a key part of winning basketball. Here's Collison. Harden kicks to Sefolosha. Back to Harden. Maynard. He's covered by Rose. He kicks to Harden. Goes back up, and the running layup is good. Harden's got 9 points.
You know, they're just getting hammered inside and really need to find a way to be tougher down there. They got to be physical. They got to man up in there.
I agree. I mean, you look at the points they're giving up, most of them seem to be coming inside the paint.
Bellinelli passes to Rose. Heinrich. Gibson, defended by Durant. Open look. Tries again. He takes it up and lays it in. Noah's got 4 points this quarter.
He made that offensive rebound count. Nice job collecting the second chance points.
And here is Sefolosha. Back to Harden. Feeds it to Durant. Over Noah. Again, Durant missing.
And no defender was around him to influence that shot. It didn't hurt them there, but, you know, they can't make that mistake twice.
And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Chicago making some changes. Nazr Mohammad's checked in for Noah. Boozer comes in for Taj Gibson. And Richard Hamilton has subbed in for Bellinelli. The Thunder also changing it up. Kendrick Perkins, he's checked in for Collison. Jones comes in for Kevin Durant. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Eric Maynard. Gets the bucket.
The Thunder were really the cream of the crop in the West last year, and in large part it was due to their ability to shoot the basketball. I mean, they ended up with the 3rd highest field goal percentage in the league.
1:49 left to play here in the second quarter. Harden against Heinrich. Here's Rose. Here's Muhammad. Nice second effort. Good job staying with it.
Excellent execution of the plan there.
1:31 left now here in the second. The Thunder leading by 21. Well, if you look at the Thunder, mostly a team of jump shooters. That is really impressive, Steve, to finish that high in the percentages.
Well, it just gives you an idea of how good they are as a team. They really run. They get high percentage shots in transition. They don't have a low post guy, as you mentioned, Kevin, but they've kind of found their niche. They've found their way to attack and to be effective offensively.
58 seconds left here in the second. Hamilton outside. There's the pass to Boozer.
Blocking foul. Hold on.
Luol Deng is checked in for Kirk Heinrich. The Thunder also changing it up. Ibaka comes in for Jones. And Daquan Cooks subbed in for Thabo Sefolosha. .51 seconds left in the first half. There's the double team with Westbrook. Boozer kicks to Rose. Here's the three, and that one's good. Rose has got 13.
That's all the space he needs, guys. He'll make you pay every time if you give him that shot.
The Thunder leading by 20. Now, here is Harden. He's got 11. No good. The Bulls shooting an outstanding 53% for the game. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock.
Oh! Blocking foul. Hold on. Serge Ibaka. That's his first personal foul.
The Bulls have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one.
And those aren't the kind of numbers they can afford to repeat throughout this season.
That's good from Boozer. Both teams will make substitutions. Boozer hits them both.
And we're starting to see more free throw attempts, so I like the aggressiveness here in the second quarter, guys.
Well, you know, this is exactly what they need to do to climb back into this game. I mean, initiate contact, play smash-mouth basketball, and get to that free throw line.
Here's Perkins. Chicago grabs the miss. Noah's got 5 rebounds tonight. Rose. No good. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Thunder lead by 18. Make sure you stay tuned for the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. Then we'll be back here right after that for the second half.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
What a great way to end the week. A little NBA basketball on 2K Sports. The Thunder rolling early on, having their way on offense, and that may be an understatement. They simply can't miss. Kevin Durant has not felt much resistance against the Bulls D. He's got a dozen points and has looked very good defensively, playing hard-nosed ball out there. On the other side, the Bulls haven't been terrific. Too many turnovers, tough to win when you're giving the ball away as easily as they have. They need to start playing smarter basketball in the second half. First half was a letdown for Kurt Heinrich. Everything's been rimming out for him. He's got to be frustrated. That'll do it as the second half is about to start. Out to the United Center.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback.
Looking at the game Rose has been having, he's got 13 points, and he's ventured beyond the arc for a three-pointer today, too.
And that's another thing he's proven he has the ability to do. They wouldn't mind seeing a few more of those 3 balls drop for him.
Second half is underway, and here's who Scott Brooks has got on the floor. The front line, Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, and Kendrick Perkins. The backcourt comprised of Russell Westbrook and Thabo Sefolosha.
Soft defense right there. Way too soft.
Bulls trail by 20. Hamilton outside. He feeds it to Dang. Over Durant. And there's Dang. That's good on the assist from Richard Hamilton. And that's 12 points for Luol Deng.
And guys, Deng has developed into a very good shooter, especially off spot ups or maybe one dribble pull-ups. He's got range. He's developed that out to the three-point line, but he really likes to go to that mid-range area. One or two dribbles into the paint, he'll rise up, shoot right over the top.
But you know what I like about him most, Steve? Deng is a very well-balanced player. He does a lot of good things offensively, but he's just as good at the defensive end. He's a big key to his team's tough defense.
Here's Rose. Gets the bucket. Rose has got 15 points. Here's Westbrook. He's got 11.
Last season, the Bulls were a team with legitimate championship aspirations, the best record in the league over the regular season, but the loss of Derrick Rose in the first round of the playoffs to a knee injury set them back and pushed back their timeline to a title for sure.
And even Joakim Noah got injured in that series too against Philadelphia, and it sunk the Bulls. Here's Hamilton. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him two chances at the free throw line here. And this Bulls team has been notable for its resiliency, even missing Rose. Steve, they were very tough last season.
Yeah, and that's definitely cause for confidence for this team. But nonetheless, I mean, I think for them to bring a title back to the city of Chicago, there's no doubt they're going to need Derrick Rose playing at 100%.
And he knocks down the first one.
You know, the Bulls have been a regular fixture in the playoffs since joining the league, literally. I mean, with the help of Michael Jordan, they have become, along with the Celtics and Knicks, one of the most storied franchises in the Eastern Conference.
And so he hits both. And with 6 banners hanging up in Chicago, the city has really cultivated a lot of pride and winning tradition here with the Bulls. And, you know, Steve, that goes a long way. You were a Bull player at one time. You know all about that pride.
Yeah, no better place to play in the NBA than Chicago. When you're winning, the whole city loves it. Obviously, Michael Jordan was the main reason for that era. But so much history now for the Bulls, and they sell out game after game. Unbelievable fan support.
Well, I like that he's come up with some big baskets for this team to help him out in getting this lead.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
You know, you look at how dominant Russell Westbrook is statistically in just about every facet of the game. The scary part is he's still learning how to play point guard. You know, he was a 2-guard at UCLA and really a combo guard his first year in the league, but he's handling the ball and distributing and doing a better job than ever before.
A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Hamilton working against Cephalosha. Rose dishes to Hamilton. Clock at 6. From deep three-point range, Russell Westbrook with the rebound. Westbrook's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Talk about Westbrook's upside, still in his early 20s. He's yet to even enter his prime. And the kid has expanded his game each and every season.
And that's what I like about him. I know he's had some critics, and some of the criticism is justified, but it's over the top in many cases. And you've got to keep in mind the big picture. This is a young, developing point guard who has already accomplished an awful lot in what I think is going to be an all-NBA type career. Second half is flowing nicely so far on offense. 75% from the field is what they're shooting.
The Thunder leading by 16. Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder.
You know, Joakim Noah is really just a winner. He won 2 national championships at Florida. He's had great success with the Bulls. Amazing, he slipped to 9th in the 2007 draft. The Bulls snapped him up, and they've been rewarded ever since.
Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Right side, Durant fires the three, and that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 5 assists in the game. And you mentioned Noah slipping in the draft. He's kind of a jokester. Likes to laugh. Sometimes teams don't trust that.
Yeah, they want the serious young man, somebody that looks like he's locked in and focused all the time. But when you're dealing with these 20 to 25, 26-year-olds, most of them are all a little goofy, and you've just got to accept that as long as they're giving you effort and not causing problems otherwise. Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, a little frustrated now, shaking his head after that miss.
Second chance shot. And the layup is good. Noah's got 8 points.
Well, he's been scoring pretty well on just a few attempts. It might help them out if he was a bit more assertive.
And Westbrook throws it down hard.
How about that elevation? Man, some major hops and vertical there.
That's your point guard right there, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable, aren't they? Some of the best athletes in the world playing that position.
Amazing. These guys able to create and dominate.
Now Cephalosha. Outside Westbrook. Dishes it to Durant. He dishes it to Westbrook. Another shot, and he hits the jump shot. Westbrook's got 17 now.
Another inside bucket. They've had a huge edge in points in the lane.
That's what every coach preaches, inside out, reversible clothing.
Rose kicks to Dang. Stolen by Durant. Goes up and finished off by Westbrook.
Well, this fella can rise up there with the best of them.
Just a crazy finish, guys.
He's one of the few players with the athleticism to pull that off.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Sprite. Good stuff. Bulls trail by 21. Rose with the ball. He's got 15. It's blocked. And here is Cephalosha. 8 feet away. And it's Durant, that time on the assist from Cephalosha. Cephalosha's got 4 assists in the game. Rose kicks to Hamilton. Bulls moving the ball around. Here's Boozer. Kicks it to Dang. Bunny shot. Can't get it to go. So the Thunder will take it the other way. Now here is Cephalosha, covered by Hamilton. Double team on Westbrook. Cephalosha passes to Ibaka. Count that one. Ibaka's got 12 in the game.
Smart. He's just using his size advantage to get his shot off.
And a sweet stroke, too, you might add.
Noah with a screen on Westbrook. Back to Hamilton. To the paint. Tipped. It's Durant on the wing. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Westbrook's got 6 assists now in the game.
Turnover problems for them, and they've just looked lackluster out there.
Well, sometimes you have off games, but you always have to bring the effort, and I'm not sure I'm seeing that right now.
Tries to snap the cold streak. Return. Nice shot by Hamilton. Hamilton's got 4 this quarter. The Thunder shooting it as well as you're going to see, 67%. And then Durant with the jam.
Rock that rim. Gotta love that enthusiasm, folks.
Not only, Clark, did he rock the rim, he decided to hang around a bit for that one, too. I love it.
What a finish. That was just gorgeous.
I got ball!
Noah with a screen for Rose. Gives him the lead pass. Westbrook with it. Now Hamilton defending, and it's blocked by Dang. Over Cephalosha, and it's Hamilton that time on the assist by Dang. Hamilton's got 8 points. Oklahoma City dictating the flow. Now here's Westbrook. 19 points in the game. Durant off a pick from Ibaka. And Durant, here we go, busts the J after the cagey pass fake. Durant's got 25 points in the game. Noah with a screen on Westbrook. Here's Rose. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
You know, Derrick Rose, until last year, really was one of the most durable players in the NBA. But back spasms, a groin issue, a sprained ankle, really kept him out of a big chunk of last year. So we'll see if he's able to get to the point where he can get back to that durable self.
First free throw is good. And for Rose last season, really a number of injuries. He missed more than 20 games in the regular season with the bad toe and a back injury. And it was on and on. He just could not stay healthy.
Yeah, he couldn't find any traction. And then he tore his ACL in the first round of the playoffs, Kevin. So as he comes back from that, Chicago will be looking for every edge they can to try to keep him healthy and ready for the long haul.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
This is a very interesting area, the topic of sleep science. We've talked about it before, and as the studies continue, the results just get more and more compelling. Researchers now say that athletes should get 9 to 10 hours of sleep a day. They say it improves reaction time, cognitive function, and releases natural growth hormones to improve recovery. So sleep in, young fellas, sleep in.
Here's Hinrich. Count the bucket. Hinrich's got his first bucket in this one. Oklahoma City dictating the flow. The feed now to Maynard. Pass to Durant. 11 feet away. Kicks it out to Harden. Back to Collison. Shoots over Muhammad. Collison, no good. Well, you talk about the need for good sleep. A study showed that Stanford players who got adequate sleep shot 9 percentage points better from three-point range and from the free throw line. Steve, Clark, I'm looking at you guys. You could have had monster numbers.
Hey, I tried to tell my wife all those years when we were raising young kids, honey, I need 9 to 10 hours of sleep tonight. You've got to be the one to get up and feed them.
Hinrich outside. Gibson setting a pick for Hinrich. Outside Rose. 6 on the shot clock. Right side Rose. Rose with another miss.
Good percentage shot, though. That's one they'll take any day of the week.
Maynard kicks to Durant. No luck. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
And that's a shot he had to take.
For sure, it was a good decision, just poor execution.
Back to Harden. The dish to Jones. Over Bellinelli. Jones, no luck. Bulls have gone 8 of 16 in the third quarter to put their second half shooting percentage right at 50%. The quick pivot move got him the ankle. Hinrich's got his second bucket of the game to go.
They continue to barrel their way inside, and when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
Durant.
Kevin Durant
drills the elbow jumper. Durant's got 29 in the game.
This has all been about him this quarter. I mean, their lead is safe if he keeps up this kind of play.
Passes to Gibson. He kicks to Bellinelli. Uncovered. Buries the jump shot. There's 39 seconds left to play here in the third. Maynard dishes to Harden. He passes to Durant. Back to Harden. It's Durant on the wing. Over Bellinelli. And it's Durant missing.
No breathing room at all to take that shot.
Outside Rose. Right side Rose. Shoots over Maynard. It's Chicago with another win.
Sometimes folks forget about his decent mid-range jumper. He can knock those down all game given a chance.
He got it up. He just barely beat the buzzer.
Unflappable. Wasn't rattled at all. I mean, he's the kind of guy you want taking those shots.
Yep, I agree with that. Pressure mounting, the crowd counting it down, and bang, he drains it.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. It's the Thunder running away with it. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter. Next. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up. We're going to send it over to Doris Burke for the strike. Uncontainable game.
Hi, guys. Well, it was the strike by the Thunder that garners the uncontainable lead today. You'd have had an easier time getting into the court not scoring on them this game, as their defense has been airtight and allowed them to keep expanding this lead.
Okay, Doris, thank you. And that was quite a run, guys. That made a big impact on where we are right now.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say, Kevin. It was a major turning point. You know, they really hit on something that in the blink of an eye had them scoring almost at will.
Well, you've got to share the credit for that kind of run. I mean, you can't just say it was all about offense. There was some stingy, stiff defense being played, too.
So with Rose on the bench, here's the 5 for Tom Thibodeau right now. They've got Bellinelli. Jimmy Butler is out there with Vladimir Radmanovic. Then it's Nate Robinson, and it's Muhammad in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Guys, we've talked about how valuable superstar players are in this league, and there's no denying that. They've actually become more influential on their teams, and I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing when they're expecting to have a big voice in personnel decisions. Who their GMs are, who they're going to draft. I still think there's something to be said for players staying within the line of being players, superstars or not.
Thabo Sefolosha has checked in for Oklahoma City. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Clark, you brought up a great thing about the superstar players wanting a voice on personnel, and some said that for Chris Paul and Dwight Howard when they became discontented, that was a big reason, that they weren't, Steve consulted enough on who the next coach would be.
Yeah, it's a dangerous precedent for the players. In Dwight Howard's case, it's really come to the forefront just how negative that power can be. Sometimes as a player, you're better off just being ignorant to what's going on in the front office. Just focus on your own job. Hey, if they make mistakes, then it's their fault, not yours.
Here's Jones. Chicago grabs the miss. About a minute played here in the fourth quarter. Outside Robinson. 6 to shoot. Feeds it to Bellinelli. Over Sefolosha. The shot by Bellinelli. No good. The Thunder shooting so well, 63%. The offense working as one cohesive unit. Sefolosha's shot is good.
Yeah, and the defense has to pick it up a little bit here. They're getting bullied inside, guys.
Yeah, they just have not competed well enough. I mean, they've not fought. You want to see fight and aggressiveness.
Bellinelli for 3. Kept alive. Outside for Robinson. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
Trying to rally back into this game. That's a bad time to start making mistakes.
Yeah, you play recklessly. That's what happens.
So both teams making some changes here. Here's Maynard. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Here is Cook, covered by Hamilton. Maynard the pass to Jones. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, there's no doubt about Perry Jones's athletic ability. 6'11", strong, quick. I think the question with him is his energy, his motor. Got a very laid-back personality. And you have to wonder, does he want to dominate the way great players do? And we'll see.
He's off on the first. It seems like Perry Jones, despite his 6'11" size, considers himself more of a perimeter player. Wouldn't you say, Clark?
Yeah, you know, Kevin, he could be one of those guys that could be conflicted by his vast skills. I mean, he's a 6'11" guy that can handle the ball, he can shoot it, can pass it, rebounds effectively. And it's just a matter of him identifying what he needs to do to be impactful on a consistent basis. But he, to me, has a chance to be an outstanding two-way player.
Hamilton off the pick from Heinrich. Hamilton outside. Over Cook. And again, Chicago. No good. Guys, some great passing from him.
Yeah, it makes it tough for the defense to chase that ball around when it moves that crisply all over the court.
Yeah, it sure does, Clark. And look at the assist totals. They're piling up. I mean, this has been a nice game execution-wise for this club.
Heinrich outside. And there's the pass to Hamilton. Shoots over Maynard. Hamilton can't get that one to fall. The Thunder have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Here's Maynard.
I'll tell you, the ability to score with your back to the basket is kind of a lost art in the NBA. Not just for big men, but for guards, too. Most players are spot-up shooters and drivers. Very few players can really go down on the block and make a move to score.
Gibson setting the pick for Heinrich. Shoots over Maynard. Off the mark, and the drought continues. The Thunder have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Collison with a screen on Hamilton. Clock at 6. The 11-footer. Chicago grabs the miss. Muhammad's got 8 rebounds in this game. Well, Steve, the ability to score with your back to the basket isn't the prettiest play, and it doesn't get you in highlight reels all that often, but, you know, having your back to the basket, and that is a part of your offensive arsenal, I think is very important. You agree with that?
Yeah, because it puts pressure on the defense. You know, there's several types of penetration in basketball, Kevin. I mean, there's obviously dribble penetration, there's shooting, but there's pass penetration. You feed the post, the entire defense has to react. So if you have a threat down there, you can really set screens, you can change your offense, you can diversify it. It becomes a lethal weapon.
Here's Maynard, guarded by Heinrich. Outside Collison. Over Muhammad. A nice shot by Collison.
Well, he can squeeze himself into the box score every now and then.
The Bulls have gotten only 3 of their 9 field goal attempts to go down since the end of the third. Pretty cold down the stretch. And Gibson kicks to Muhammad.
You know, one of the things about playing in the Western Conference, Kevin, is that travel can be very difficult. In the East, most of the cities are a lot closer together. But in the West, you can rack up some serious frequent flyer miles in a hurry because you're flying really all over the place.
No good on that one. Steve, as you said, all that travel can take a toll on a team. Still, usually the West has done better in the past against the East.
Well, Kevin, obviously talent has a lot to do with it. I mean, if you've got great talent, you're going to be able to win more games on the road, regardless of how far you have to travel. But I do think there is a toll on teams like Portland or Miami that are, you know, really tucked away in far corners of the country and have longer trips throughout the season.
They have been really controlling this one.
Well, now's not the time to get complacent, though, Kevin. You've got to continue to put your foot on the gas pedal.
I got him!
Here is Cook. Bellinelli is covering, and he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. The Bulls making a switch here. Noah's checked in. The Bulls shooting a paltry 33% in the fourth. Not a good showing for this offense. Heinrich off a pick from Noah. Heinrich dishes to Noah. And the rejection by Ibaka. Here's Maynard, covered by Hamilton. Maynard, no good. And for the Bulls, they're shooting at 50% in a decent groove. He feeds it to Bellinelli.
Well, we've talked about this topic before, guys, but when the Big Three formed in Miami, I think the desire for star players to play with each other really kind of took on a life of its own. And even though teams haven't really been able to duplicate what Miami did, it's still something that is a dynamic that the league has to deal with.
Heinrich kicks it to Noah. Dishes it to Bellinelli. Over Sefolosha. And there's the rejection.
He's laboring out there right now, guys. The shot has not been falling for him this quarter.
Maynard the pass to Ibaka. Over Boozer. Ibaka, no luck. And you know, Steve, going back to the star players trying to team up, Miami really upped the ante. Now guys look at the talent around them and say, I need to do that or I don't have a chance.
Well, Kevin, it's just not something that's easily reproduced, though. When you get, superstar players all going to a city that's very desirable, that happens to have, $40 million in cap room, I don't think it's going to happen a whole lot. But it is natural for players to want to play with other great players. I mean, that's how you win, after all.
Maynard kicks to Cook. 5 on the clock. That's 3-pointers off the mark. Now Heinrich. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
He dishes it to Bellinelli. Hamilton outside. Lets the three fly. Gets it to go. Hamilton's got 11 in the second half.
I'm sure that's a load off his mind after not hitting a single three-pointer in the first half.
Sefolosha dishes to Maynard. Kicks to Sefolosha.
It's interesting. The perception of the 2012 draft class has been all over the map. Initially, it was being touted as very deep. And then as teams got a look at players over the course of the college season a year ago, they felt it wasn't quite as strong as they thought it would be. What a play. The hoop plus the harm.
Excellent concentration on the finish. That's big time.
Jones checked in for Daquan Cook. Well, Steve, you brought up the draft class. There was the obvious strength of it up top with, of course, Anthony Davis, but it got a little murky after that.
Yeah, I think Davis is a clear-cut future star in this league. After that, a lot of very good players who, we'll just have to see them develop and see how they unfold as their careers go on. But I think the draft will ultimately be looked at as a very deep one that brought a lot of good players to the NBA.
The Thunder have gone 5 of 12 from the field entering the fourth quarter. Perkins kicks to Ibaka. The feed to Jones, covered by Hamilton. Blocked. There's the dish to Bellinelli. Back to Hamilton. Noah with a screen for Hamilton. Another one falls for Chicago.
Guys, he's really shot the ball well. It's definitely not his fault they find themselves trailing in this one.
So it's the Thunder now. Now Maynard passes it to Sefolosha.
I'll tell you, I was really worried during the labor negotiation that the league would lose popularity, but I didn't think the NBA suffered much at all. They started games on Christmas Day. The fans came back immediately. TV ratings were as high as ever. So I think the league survived quite well.
Luol Deng is checked in for Chicago. Rose comes in for Kirk Heinrich. Then for the Thunder, Kevin Durant's checked in for Jones. Harden comes in for Sefolosha. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Eric Maynard. Just 3 to shoot. And Kevin Durant with the slam.
I don't think it's possible to make a better pass than that, guys.
And he finished so well, Clark, too. Not too shabby on that jam.
Not bad at all.
And it takes perfect timing to pull off that alley-oop, but these two guys seem to have that synergy between each other.
Well, you look back to the Christmas Day start last season. All the big names and all the big-time teams. You know, Steve, it did a great job of bringing the NBA back in a big way.
Well, if you think about it, before Christmas, most sports fans are focused on football. Christmas Day has always been sort of the unofficial beginning of the NBA season as far as a lot of sports fans are concerned. So, Christmas is a big day for the NBA, but I think it really worked out well for the NBA to start the season on Christmas Day. It really reduced the impact that the lockout had in terms of a negative reaction from the fans.
And it's Rose missing.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
Nice offensive play there, and this one's pretty much in the books, guys.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? It was a very good showing from them to come away with the win. I was very impressed.
Outside Boozer, over Ibaka. Russell Westbrook with the rebound. Westbrook's got rebound number 5 here tonight. From deep, Harden, and Ibaka slams it in. We've got 1:23 left here in the fourth quarter. Rose kicks to Hamilton. Pass to Noah. Tries to save it. And the Thunder pushing it up now. Harden the pass to Westbrook. It's off his leg. And it's being called a kickball. So for the Bulls, Jimmy Butler comes in for Luol Deng. And it's Heinrich in for Derrick Rose. Then for the Thunder, Jones checked in for Durant. Cephalosha comes in for James Harden. And it's Maynard in for Russell Westbrook. On defense, the Bulls. Cephalosha kicks to Jones. The shot no good. The Bulls shooting it up around 51%. They're getting good looks. Hamilton dishes to Heinrich. Back to Hamilton. Heinrich outside. He kicks it to Noah. Shot from 12. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
Nobody anywhere close to him. Where's the defense? He's got to make that shot, though.
Kicks it out to Jones. There's 31 seconds left in the fourth. Shot clock at 6. Maynard the pass to Ibaka. Boozer with the rebound.
That was a layup, and you've got to knock that down. You've got to convert when you get those opportunities.
Made that one on the move. Tough shot.
That's one of the toughest shots in basketball, Kevin. It's so tricky to get the soft touch and the accuracy when you're flying to the basket.
Here's Maynard. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kevin Durant.
What we do here is go back.